Ahlan, ahlan, shabab. We have another lesson for you today. Inshallah, you'll get a lot out of this lesson. We're going to go through, as we have been doing, kal'ada, the judur, the roots. The root we're going to cover today is dor, is dal, waw, ra. Okay, this one used quite a bit, and it's got, in fact, one of the words from this, a verb, is used in the top 101 verbs that's found in my book, the 101 Most Used Verbs in Spoken Arabic. Let's look at the first one, and we're going to try to move through these fairly quickly today because there's a lot of them. Okay, so now we're looking first off for the root essence meaning. Root essence meaning is going to be found in the masdar. Sometimes it's very easy to find. Other times you need to look at all the meanings, and this is one of those times. So to make the connection. So dor, أول إشي, if you say dor to an Arab, what they're going to say is, oh, that means, if they know English well, they're going to say it means turn or part, roll or part. But one of the meanings from this is also a round, a sports round, a round in, let's say, tennis, dor, okay, or adwar, rounds could mean this is the first round, for example, of يعني الدور الأول بالمباراة التنس. All right, or you could say الدور الخامس بكأس العالم. Okay, so that would be in the World Cup. All right, the fifth round in the World Cup. So that's what that means. Now, round. This is the root essence meaning of dal, waw, ra. And even you find it in the other meanings which are more well known. For example, this would be roll, like our turn, your turn, okay? Dorak, you commonly hear that. Dorak ya zalame, it's your turn. So it's like you're waiting on somebody if you're playing shadde, cards, or if it's someone's turn, you say dorak or dorkum, your turn, you all. So that's what that. So you get this idea of a turn, a rotation, if you will, round rotation. So the idea is round or coming around, rotating. Okay, so that's how we get this idea. That's how we get the meanings. So this dor, adwar, this is going to be role, like a role in a play, مسرحية. يعني أو we could say هو بيلعب دور كبير بالشركة, all right? أو بالعيلة, he plays a big role in the company or in the family. دور, adwar. We say بيلعب دور, all right? Also could mean, like we said, part in a play. All right, so that's another one. All right, now let's see the next. Well, this is actually something we would say ador, which is one of the phrases. So sometimes I like to put these in here just so you get them. Ador means like, basically means wait your turn. So we say ador shabab, istennu ador. Ador is what people just say. It means on your turn, or literally on your turn, but it means wait your turn, okay? All right, I'm bastenna dori, ador, or I'm bastenna ador. And sometimes they might say, yani dalak bid-dor, it means like stay in line, or stay waiting your turn, like that. Okay, next one, dawri. Dawri is the adjective from dor. You see that, yeah. So this is common. We're seeing these now if you've been watching these videos. So this is how you start to understand Arabic, because it always has a system. Dawri, Dawri is my turn. Dawri is the way we pronounce this. Like we would say, بشكل دوري. بشكل دوري means regularly, okay? Or, yeah. Actually, no, it means periodically. That's it. So it's regularly is like binti lam. We covered that before in another lesson. This بشكل دوري means periodically. بشيك عليه بشكل دوري. I check on him periodically. Okay? دوري. And then دورية is something we'll see it in a minute. It's a little different. That's going to be a noun. But also we have this here. دوري means a league. So like a sports league. So ابني بيلعب كرة القدم بالدوري معين. I don't know what specific دوري it is. It might be دوري شباب الأردن, you know, the Jordan Youth League. Okay? So that's what that is. But keep in mind, دوريات is not used in sports. When you say دوريات, it's something different, which we will see in just a minute. Okay? دورية and دوريات is this one is used more often as far as like دوريات. It will be used more often with دورية. دورية is a traffic stop or a patrol. So a highway patrol. But when we say دورية, we specifically mean الدورية, like we would say في كتير دوريات على طريق البحر الميت. Okay? That means there's a lot of traffic or patrol stops. So that's where here in Jordan and many places in the Middle East, they don't come behind you with a car with lights on and pull you over. And that never happens. They'll stand on the road, they'll have the radar gun, or they'll be checking for رخصة السيارة, the registration for your car, or رخصة سواقة, or your تأمين, your insurance. And they will بيوقفوك, they will stop you. And this is that stop area where the police are. We call that, high patrol is, they call that دورية. Okay? Now, you have also a term like highway patrol. These are the police officers, الشرطة, that are patrolling the outside, the autostrad or the highways. So we call them الدوريات الخارجية. Literally means the patrols. This literally means the patrols, the external patrols, okay, or the outside patrols. All right. But it really means highway patrol. So that's how we say highway patrol. All right. Next, dawra. So dawra, it always, when people think of dawra, they think of more like a course. Okay. Now, this isn't to be confused with a masaq, all right, or a madde in a university. A dawra is something that's for taqwiyah. In other words, it's for strengthening someone's skill sets. So it could be, you could have a dawra in computers. It could be dawra in Inglisi, dawra Inglisiya, dawra Arabiya. But it's not going to be usually for credit. It's going to be something that is a course, okay? It could be dawra sibaha, okay, for swimming, all right? And that's what that is. And dawrat. Oh, also, dawra. Let's go back to dawra. Dawra is, the jam'a for courses is dawrat. Bes, let me say something here. Dawra also means like a regular thing. And it's used like, for example, it's used for a period, actually. The woman's period would be dawra shahriyah. يعني دورتها شهرية. Okay, so that would be a monthly period. All right, just so you know there too. So it goes into a little bit of medical as well. Because it's something that's returning. Okay, it's continuing, returning. All right, next one. The next one is, and this is going to surprise some people, but most people who know Arabic will know at least the beginning of Arabic or intermediate level will know this word, dar. Dar is the same as bayt, means house. Bayt means more like home. It's really in the Arab mind, bayt is like your home with family and all that. But it physically could also mean the home. And it could also be used for like the house of the house of the House of Lords, or house of this particular family, house of the Williamses, you know, which it's like a very formal way of saying it, you know. So we would say Dar Musharbash, or Dar Haute, or Dar Abu Jabir. All right, these are families. So we would say the whole, like the whole family, the family of Abu Jabir, like that. And you can use Bait for that as well. But Dar, it's used exactly the same as Bait, almost exactly, but it's a little more wider, actually, in meaning. And the plural for it is Dur in Amiyya, or Diyar in Fusha. Diyar is more of the Fusha side of the plural there. All right? The next one, Der. Der. Now, Der also, Der means, here's the thing. Der means a monastery, okay? A place where the where a rahib might live, okay? That's a monk. But here's the thing. Why do we say Der? Well, not every it's a special type of home for monks, but it also could mean a church. Okay, so this would be a church like Orthodox, or some sort of church where the Khuri lives in it. Okay, could be Catholic. All right, but it has to be a church where where someone lives in it. Okay, it has a quarters for that. So that's what we call Der, or Edira. Edira is the jama' for that, the plural. Now, why housing? What does it have to do with it? Well, you come and go from your house constantly, okay? And that's kind of why this found its way into Dar, all right? So Dar is the place you keep going back to. And Raih al-Dar, Raih al-Bayt. All right, so this is your home or house. So that's why it took that meaning, or entered into here. Okay, Dawran. Dawran is also another noun, just like Der is a noun, Dar is a noun, Dawriya is a noun, okay, and Dor and all these Dawra. But Dawran means it's really close to it's the closest masdar to the root essence meaning of this jadar, and that is that it means spinning or rotating. So we would say Dawran al-ard, okay? Dawran al-ard means the spinning or rotating of the earth, okay? Dawran al-shams, like that. So it's spinning. And that's the noun. It's more used in sciences, العلوم أكثر من ما بنحكي بالعامية. Okay? Okay. But we do say lef ودوران. We do say lef ودوران. ما بدي lef ودوران. Lef ودوران. That means turning and spinning, literally. But what it really means is, I don't like underhandedness or lying or gaslighting, something like that. Basically, when somebody does what they're doing is they're lying to you without coming right out and doing it directly. So they're playing games with you. That's what that means. Lafu dawran means they're trying to deceive you or rip you off. يعني بدهم يضحكوا عليك. That's what that means. And dawran is the noun. So sometimes we say lafu dawran, all right? Which means deceiving, trying to deceive people, all right? So the next one is the verb. All these form one. All of them form one. The form one, by the way, is in black. We'll give you form two will be different color so you can kind of see them. You'll know this is all black is going to be form one. It wasn't what? Dar, there are two verbs from this jadar. Two verbs. One Well, when we say verbs from form 1, okay, they're both identical. Dar, dar. The point is, though, what does it mean? Dar, dar. There are two different verbs, though, because one of them is going to be in mudari', in the present tense. It will be bidur, like this, and the other one will be bidir. Okay, and bidir, we're going to get to why this is, but bidir is actually from form 4, but the Amiya version of it is in form 1. So we'll get to that in a minute, though. We'll get to that, don't worry. Dar bidur is the original verb from this. It's in Fusha and Amiya, okay? But we don't use it much in Amiya except for what I said earlier. Bilif ubidur. ليش بتلف وبتدور? Yani, why are you trying to beat around the bush and lie to me or deceive me or whatever like this, Somebody's trying to be sneaky, all right? Dar bidur. But it's also used a lot in Fusha to be like the planets. So we could say, الأرض بتدور حول الشمس. The earth rotates around the sun. Now, if I say الأرض بتدور, what I mean then is the earth is rotating. But when I say حول, it goes around, okay? So bidur حول, or حول, means around. But if I just say bidur, it means it's spinning, all right? But we say bilif more for the verb. Bilif, literally, bilif means turn, but in Amiya, it kind of has swallowed up also bidur, all right? The spin and turn have all come under lef for the verb, but not for the nouns or the adjectives. All right, next one is, this one is the ism al-fa'il. Now, I put daim there because this is a phrase. I want to put the phrase just so you can help you out with that. But focus here now just on the word itself. Dair. Dair is Amiya. We have the word da'ir, which is the Fusha ism al-fa'il. Okay, because the ism al-fa'il bil-Fusha will not have a ya. It will have, in all cases, it will be almost, I think there's not an exception, it will always be a hamze al-kursi, which will be like, basically like a ya, but take off the two nuqtatain below, and then above this line here, you'll put a hamze. That's called hamze al-kursi. All right? Da'iman is the same thing. In Fusha, it's da'iman, but in Amiya, we say daiman. So here, daiman dair, or we could say bidallo dair, or bidalha daire. Daire or dair is always negative. And what it means is, and this is used quite a bit, dair means someone is out and about wasting their time. They're out of the house and they're hanging out with their friends. They're wasting time. They're not doing anything useful or helpful. They're just at the cafe, smoking. They're with their friends out and about. Who knows what they're doing, but it's all a waste of time. Okay, that's dair. هو الشاب يعني هالشاب dair. Dair means he's wasting his time. So they say of somebody, daiman, he's always dair. Or bidallo dair means he's continually going out and wasting his time. All right? So negative, adjective, and only in Amiya, not found in Fusha. Here's the Fusha. Okay, Fusha version, this is form 1, the ism al-fa'il from form 1, da'ir. Da'ir is strictly an adjective describing really about 4 different things, 4, maybe 5, 6, something like that. But it describes something typically that's negative happening, like a war. So it means the ongoing. So You could say الحرب الدائرة. الحرب الدائرة means the ongoing war, or النقاش الدائر means the ongoing debate. المشاكل الدائرة or المشكلة الدائرة, the ongoing problem. All right. So you get the idea, like that. You could say crisis too. You know, crisis would be الأزمة or الأزمة الدائرة. All right. So that's something you'll see in newspapers a lot, in news. The next one is da'iri. Da'iri is an adjective from the word, which we're going to see it in just a minute. It's from the word for circle, okay? But, so this means circular, da'iri. And it's used more in Fusha, okay? We have another word that we use in spoken Arabic that we speak, we say, but this quite often is used, could be used in Ammiya, but the point is, that's why I have it black, because it is used in Ammiya some, but it's circular, okay? So, circular. Shekil da'iri, a circular shape, okay? Da'iriyah is of course, the adjective for the mu'annaf. It's the mu'annaf, all right? The female. So if you have a female word, that's where that comes in. All right, feminine word. Okay, so one way we might say this, other than just simply circle, okay, or like a circular, is الطريق الدائري, means the beltway, the beltway. So, you know, most larger cities, medium to large cities, will have a beltway that goes, a highway system going around in a circular, it's a circular road or highway going around the city. And from that, you can get off on exits to go in different parts of the suburbs. That's what that is. الطريق الدائري means the beltway. Okay. Da'ira. Here it is. Da'ira means circle. So this is the noun, and this is the adjective for this particular noun. However, I put it here because of the placement. I just put it like that. But da'ira means a circle. Da'ira, circle. And this is Fusha, and we use it in Ammiya too, but we do have an Ammiya word we'll get to in a little bit. Dawa'ir is circles. That's the jama'. All right? So, this is the other verb. Remember we were speaking about dar. There's the verb here. See the verb here? Well, here you have dar bidir. Okay? Dar bidir. Bidir is he manages. Okay? He manages. So this means he managed. Dar, he managed. Okay? So, dar beto. He manages his home. Dar waqto. Okay? He manages his time. Dar sherke. You know, he manages the company. So, you could say for a woman maybe, you know, in the home, بتدير يعني مصاريف البيت. For example, she manages the home expenditures, okay? But you also have other things we might say with this, with dar, okay? So dar, it's like lead, but it's not lead. يعني, so lead, biqud, he leads, is different from bidir, okay? So managing is different than leading, of course, slightly different. So here we have something called diret bal. So this is the noun from it. This is the noun from it. And we would say diret bal means it requires deeper thought or more reflection. So you get the idea here. Dar, diret bal, means returning of your thinking, like you need to mull over it more. ديرة بال. So we could say تربية الأولاد يعني بهالسنة أو بهالزمن بدها ديرة بال. Okay? It needs deep thought or more reflection. So on how to raise children. That's what that means. تربية الأولاد, raising children. So the last thing I'll say too while you are all looking at these words is that, and this is important for this particular one, dar bidir, we say dir balak. Dir balak means be careful. Dir balak. It literally means rotate your mind or your thinking. Keep your minds keep your mind sharp. But it really means be careful. Be careful. Dir balak. Dir balak minno. Be careful from this guy or of this guy. Be careful of him. Or dir balak min shorta. Be careful of the police because maybe you might don't speed basically. Or we might also say dir balak ala halak or dir balak alayhum. Means take care of them, take good care of them. So everything in all these words has to do with, if you really think about it, a concentrated returning, whether it be your mind, your thoughts continually on something, bringing back, your thinking to something, being careful, or rotating, spinning a course because it's classes continually, regularly, periodically. I check on somebody. You get the idea? That's what I mean when I say Arabic has a system. Now, we're not done. So we're going to get to the next, the second page of these words and finish them up just in a second while you guys are looking at this. Okay, so here we go back again on the second part. We're going to cover that right now. And here we see the first word, dawera. Dawera is only in Ammiya. It's a word for circle. Dawera. Dawera means circle. That's all. And the plural is dawawir. Dawawir is the plural for circle. Okay, next one. From here is madar. Okay, madar is range or scope, but it's not for this idea of range like how far or scope of like the seeing something completely. It's really, you can't fully understand or comprehend the word unless you see it in its phrases. So here's some phrases we use. These two we use quite a bit. Alamadar sene. Alamadar sene means all year around. Okay, so it literally means on the scope of the year or on the range of the year, kind of like on the, like alamadar means continually throughout the year. So alamadar sene. However, when you go here, alamadar sa'a, it doesn't mean continually throughout the hour, no. It means 24/7, 24 hours a day is what it means, 24 hours a day. Alamadar sa'a, okay, 24 hours a day. So you could say هالمطعم فاتحين على مدار الساعة, okay, means they're open all 24/7. But if I say هالمطعم فاتحين على مدار السنة, that means they're open all year long, okay. Next one, this one's used a ton because here in Jordan we have many dawawir. Now notice, dawawir. This is circle, but this is not circle in the sense of like a shape. It's circle. Duwar is circle, a traffic circle. That's what that means. It does not mean circle like a shape. It means strictly traffic circle. All right, duwar, dawawir. So we have a famous thing here is our circles, like we call like certain areas of the city where this one road goes through. It's called Circle Road, and we have دوار الأول, دوار الثاني, دوار الثاني, الثالث, دوار الرابع, like that. So those are areas in Amman, famous. For if you want to say, well, he lives near Dawar al-Thani. He lives near second circle. عايش أو ساكن عند دوار الثاني. All right, so that's what that means. A little joke here is people in Ammiya will joke and say, like if they want to say somebody is like she is round or she is really large, like body-wise, they might say something like يعني هالبنت دوار, دوار. Or they could say هالشاب دوار. But it just means like round, so overweight that they're round in their body. So dawar. That's just a very Ammiya thing that people might say. All right, but here, notice you've got dawar, and then you have dawara. Okay, dawara. Iddinya dawara is a phrase that people say. And what it means is, and this is how you'll find the word dawara in it. Dawara means basically like a revolving, something that time that revolves. Like, so iddinya dawara means what comes around goes around. All right, you might say what comes around goes around for somebody who did something and now they're seeing, like people say karma or whatever, but it comes around goes around. Or you can say everything returns back to how it was, like the life, like the cycle of, not a cycle, but the idea is that things happen, everything comes around, full circle. That's what it means. Iddinya dawara. All right? Next is duar. Now these are all nouns from Form 1, and you can see, look at the difference between these. Duar has no shadde on it. So that's the only difference between duar and duwar. Okay? Duar means هو بيشعر بالدوار. Okay? Notice in, well, when we say it, we say biduar. Okay? But if you write it, it's going to be, because this is fusha. Duar is fusha. We don't say that. We say أنا حاسس بالدوخة. أنا ضايخ. حاسس بالدوخة. So doche is a different jedder, but that means like dizziness. Duar means dizziness, but it's in fusha. Okay, we don't use it in Ammiya. All right, so the next one, finally, we are now getting to Form 2, dawar. So dawar is a very important verb. It's in the most used 101 most used verbs. It's in my book. However, not specifically this. Dawar ala is in there. Dawar itself just means he made someone or something to spin or rotate. Okay, and it's not really used so much in Ammiya. Not so much. It's used more like in Fusha. But the next one, though, from it that has the harf jar here, ala, the preposition dawar ala, is big time used. Now, I don't think it's used in Lebanon so much. They have a different verb for he looked for. However, here and in Palestine, the southern Levant, we use dawar ala, and it's known quite a bit. Dawar ala means he looked for or searched for. Now you might say, well, how does this go with spinning? I mean, or turning or rotating or coming around. Well, if you think about it, searching, what are you doing when you're searching? You're going here and there and coming around and looking all over. So search or to look for is dawar, all right? Dawar ala. Dawar ala. And that's what that means. So, next, tadwir ala. So the noun tadwir, this is the masdar, tadwir ala means the noun or the gerund looking for. Looking for. You know, looking for تدوير يعني التدوير على على أفراطة يعني برا بالعتمة صعب. You know, it's difficult looking for change outside or in the dark. يعني برا بالعتمة, it's hard. Okay, تدوير على. Now next, تدوير by itself can be used for making something to spin, the noun, or we use it for recycling. Recycling, because if you think about it, what is the icon for recycling is literally something that like spins, okay, and different stages. So تدوير can mean recycling. It means recycling. Next, مدور. مدور means round or circular. All right. Now you might remember we just had on the last page دائري. Okay, دائري. That means circular. بس مدور is the عامية way to say it. مدور, circular. Okay, and مدورة is the plural. I mean not the plural, the feminine. All right. Next thing, adara. Adara is more fusha. Okay, so remember we said dar bidir الشركة, he manages the company. Well, that's how you would say it in عامية. In fusha, you would say يدير from form 4. So that's form 4, adara. But from form 4, we get the nouns, the masadir, that we actually, and adjectives that we use in amiyya, okay? So we take the verb from form 1, we use that, but we use these other ones in what you're going to see here, like this, for example, idara. Idara means administration. So adara means he managed, or he administered, okay? Mostly he managed, actually. But this means administration or management, okay? Management. Al-idara includes the owner of the company, the managers in the company under him, basically anybody who's managing or has a role in the management of the company. So that's how that works, al-idara. But it could be also maybe somebody in the idara would be maybe a support staff, like a muhasib, accountant, or secretariat, secretary. So idariya is the adjective from idara. Idariya is the adjective. So we could say هي موظفة or موظفة إدارية. She is an administrative employee. Like if you're at a school, at a madrasa, you could say they're not a teacher, they work in the administration staff. Okay? Or in a college, you'd say this is not faculty, this is staff. All right? So إداري. Or we could say هل قرار إداري. This is a decision, هل قرار للإدارة. Okay, so it's administrative, or it's for the administration or for management. All right, mudir used. This is probably one of the most used nouns in Amiyya because everybody's got a boss, right? Mudir means, it could mean manager. هو مدير الشركة. He's the manager of the company. But mudir, here's the thing. When we say mudir الشركة, in the Middle East, many times that actually means the owner, okay? The owner. المدير العام, the general manager, actually means the owner, almost always. So just be careful, because you can say صاحب الشركة, but صاحب الشركة is the owner. Many times the owner will call himself not صاحب الشركة, he'll say أنا مدير العام للشركة. So you got to be careful with that because mudir means the one who runs the company. He manages the company, and that usually will be the owner. But if it's a larger company, he might say ana mudir qism, so he means he's a manager of the department. Okay. By the way, we said da'ira is circle in Fusha. Da'ira can also mean a department. Okay, a department. All right. So he might say he's mudir. هو مدير بدائرة السير. He is a manager in the department of traffic or department of motor vehicles, kind of like that. So mudara or mudara in Ammiya. Mudara is in the plural. Okay. Now in Fusha you can say mudirin. That's possible as well. But mudara is most used as a plural. Okay, mudariye is an older way of saying da'ira or qism. So da'ira or mudariye, these are only used for government, okay? Only for government. So if we have a company, we say qism, all right, the department. But mudariye means department or office of something like that, department, okay? Or bureau, possibly it could mean bureau, all right? Bureau of management or whatever. So that's mudiriye. All right. So that's mudiriye. Now you can see all these words coming from just three forms out of dal, wal, ra. And I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. راح نشوفكم إن شاء الله المرة الجاي.